We are here with Mr. Lee Hurst, my pseudo celebrity here.
Big time.
Big
Big
time.
time, Joe.
Big time.
He's not building up enough, actually.
Well, I
I'm
mean,
way bigger than that.
you're a huge celebrity.
I am.
In a very small circle.
It is tiny.
Tiny.
Yeah, it's like a pinprick. That's what it is. But I'm huge though.
So Lee is one of actually our great success stories, and he came in a very different way than most of our other clients. Lee came in for health reasons, for a lot of knowledge, and to put on a little weight and really to kind of improve muscle mass, as he is still extremely active. He is a tennis coach and actually known as the coach of coaches and the mentor of mentors for a lot of top-level tennis coaches here in the United States, and has actually worked with a lot of high-level people in the tennis circuit. Is that correct?
That's mostly correct, yes. You've done me proud. I appreciate it.
Listen, dude, we're on camera. We got to make this sound huge.
Okay. Yes.
Lee is like the most important
Yes.
person in tennis. Like Serena and Venus here,
Yeah.
Lee up here.
They're actually outside waiting right now
Yeah,
to take
for
me to
you.
breakfast. Yeah. Just to thank me a little bit. Yeah.
Just to
they're
say
good.
thank you.
Yeah.
And rub your head.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's nice. So Lee, tell us a little bit, like when we got started, we had a conversation and you were kind of a little frustrated with how your body looked or how you were feeling versus all the activity that you were doing, right? So tell us a little bit about where you started.
I think it started a little bit actually one day. I think I was with you and Romain at the track.
That's right. We were at the track.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were running.
And we were running.
You were smoking me around the track.
Yeah, I was running pretty well, and we end up, and I take my shirt off to change, and of course you look at me and you're like, I thought you had a six pack, which of course didn't bother me at all, you know. So I'm like, holy crap, I'm like douchebag. So I mean, yeah, that was kind of something I noticed for myself. I thought I was a bit of a harsh critic of myself sometimes, but I also realized I wasn't maybe as kind of a little bit on the vain side, so I want to be a little bit more lean, all this stuff. And
which
so
is totally okay.
When you put it, I'm like, oh my God, no, I really have to actually address this now and work on it. Right. So it just felt like the right time, you know, to really start to get into it and actually learn a bit more about it and try and find a way to get a little bit leaner and better shape, but maybe a little larger. I was a little bit, I don't know, not skinny fat, but had a little bit of a belly.
Right.
I don't think muscular enough and not athletic enough for me how I want to look.
Well, it wasn't enough. It wasn't where you wanted to be.
Right.
And it wasn't coordinating with the amount of work that you were putting in. Right?
Yeah, I'd say for sure.
And the reason that I had made the comment was, number one, I was just busting his chops.
It's because
he's
you were
in
jealous.
great shape.
You were jealous.
I am jealous. You're constantly on your bike, right?
Yeah.
To even get to the track, you rode what, 5 miles to get there?
Yeah, a few miles. Yeah.
Right.
Backwards.
Yeah.
Pulling a car. I was pulling a car.
And this is going to be tough to get through with this guy.
It's like a date with Joe. Sorry, man.
You were smoking around the track.
Yeah.
Right? You were running pretty quickly. You do CrossFit 4 times a week?
Yeah, at least. Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And then your job is on your feet.
Yeah.
Right, so you're coaching tennis, which is an interactive job. So you're on the court, you're teaching people, you're showing them. So it's not like you're sitting at a desk all day, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think that's even something you could do if you wanted to, right?
No, yeah.
So you're doing all this activity, you're eating pretty well, but something wasn't jiving, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, so, pretty quickly we started looking and like all of a sudden you're shredding out, you're looking better, you've gotten a little bit more muscular. What do you think were some of the changes that you made, whether it was in your eating or maybe some mental shifts that you made or some of the things that we worked on that you feel were the biggest contributors to that progress?
Yeah, it was actually pretty easy and pretty simple. I mean, I just had some poor habits at times. My poor habits were not eating enough, and then when I did eat not enough, eating so quickly.
Right.
So through some conversation with you and through some of the exercises we did, and then through beginning to eat a lot more food during the day and more slowly and more more thoughtfully, it changed things quite a bit. So I kind of just, I think just those simple things to me were like the biggest thing. It almost didn't matter what I ate to a degree. Which was weird because I always thought, well, I'm going to have no carbs gonna beef up the protein. I'm gonna inject the steroids, or whatever it is. But maybe not the last part. But so it was
Right.
kind of and I think I know a decent amount about
Right.
nutrition and how to eat healthy and how to exercise, but
Right.
some of these habits weren't there, so that
Right.
was a big thing for me.
So let's dig in more into that. Like you said, eating more mindfully and more thoughtfully. And to some extent, it didn't really matter what you ate as long as you were mindful and thoughtful about
Yeah,
it, right?
yeah,
So for a lot of us who come in and we say we want to lose weight or we want to gain weight, we are thinking steamed veggies, steamed proteins, brown rice. I can never have a bagel. And a lot of times when we would sit down and talk, you'd be coming from a bagel shop, or
yeah,
I'd meet you
yeah,
at the bagel shop
yeah,
locally
yeah.
here in Jersey City. So walk me through a little bit more about through those steps. Like, what do you mean by I was eating more mindfully and thoughtfully, and that when you why the food didn't necessarily matter as much as you initially thought that you did.
Why? Well, I mean, I think before things were a little bit more haphazard during the day, you know what I mean?
Right.
So this gave it a little bit more structure. So there were, some time slots in the day when I would be looking to try and have these meals. Let's say it was 8 to 10 for a breakfast, 12 and so on. So right away I kind of knew that, I had to eat whether I was hungry or not. And then within that eating, I think the important piece there is eating more slowly and more thoughtfully.
Yeah.
I didn't really overeat or undereat. I kind of had a better feel of when I felt good, which sometimes because I ate so quick before, I would just smash stuff and whatever it is, and not eat necessarily badly, but and the same thing with snacking and stuff too. And this kind of took away the urge to snack quite a lot,
Yeah.
So for me, it was that.
So tell me a little bit about this, and I want to dig a little deep into this thoughtful thing. Do you feel like prior to this you were making maybe some food decisions based on I felt bad about what I ate before, so I'm going to eat a little better now, or I ate really good here, so I can kind of have the snack without guilt? Did you feel that prior?
No, actually, no, I don't think so. Anytime I had that is if there was alcohol involved,
Right.
I'm gonna have that stuff.
Okay.
Whereas this time, this is the difference here was even if there was alcohol involved, I didn't have that. It was kind of weird,
Yeah.
So usually before then there was a lot more snacking or bad stuff going on.
Yeah.
And this time of thing, it didn't seem to. I don't know. That was kind of strange to me.
Yeah.
I figured that would be okay to let me do whatever, but it didn't happen. Habits were kind of pretty set,
So again, now you are getting in touch with like, okay, I understand how this food makes me feel, and I'm thoughtful about it, and so now a lot of these kind of old bad habits started to dissipate because you didn't need to do it anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It wasn't like you had to. I think a lot of us have this association that 2-3 drinks in, I'm eating whatever's in the cabinets, maybe going out and buying some more ice cream.
Yeah.
So unbelievable. So tell us a little bit about where you are now. So you're obviously exiting the program today.
Yeah, because I'm perfect now.
You are perfect.
Yeah. I'm like, I think I'm doing the GQ cover shoot for July.
Yeah.
Of 2005. So I'm not sure how it works, but apparently it should be in better shape.
So tell us a little bit about what you're doing with yourself now. You're still coaching. You're I'm going about this living around the world type of thing, which is really interesting and really cool.
Yeah. I'm kind of gonna be doing the tennis piece more as in a consultant kind of way.
Nice.
And I'm doing a little bit more travel, which I've been working towards for a while with some other things with business. So as far as the health and the nutrition part of things, it's obviously gained a lot of knowledge and stuff over the last little piece, and it's good. But obviously I'll be checking in to have a chat and do whatever. But I feel good, and I feel like I have some better skills, a better handle on things. I feel like I don't need to be 6% body fat anymore. I look okay at a certain place, and that's okay too, because I'm like 110 years old now. 111 in July. But yeah, so that's the kind of thing. I think it's a good setup, it's a good foundation.
Right.
Although I think it could definitely use further work. Right. I mean, for sure. I mean, it's always something to learn more.
Always something.
Yeah.
So for somebody who's getting started or maybe nervous to get started, what piece of advice would you give them to say, take that step forward and take the leap and, feel good about what you're doing and feel good about yourself? Like in the same way that, a lot of us tend to think that when you're fat
Yeah.
and you look in the mirror, that's when you feel bad about yourself. Well, you were nowhere near that, but you were still pretty critical of yourself,
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
still is it's still a barrier that doesn't get us to start. So no matter where somebody is on their journey, that being critical of ourselves is always a barrier. So for somebody who's nervous to get started or doesn't want to address it, what's a piece of advice that you would give them?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
That's a tough thing to give a piece of advice. I mean, I don't mean, like you say, everyone is critical for whatever it is. I think, you see these things, you're aware of all these things happening.
Yeah.
You see yourself being overweight, you see yourself drinking too much, you see these things. And I mean, I don't know, at some point there's always something that says, you just need to take action. I don't know what that really is. I mean, I can't,
Yeah.
I mean, this is not really expressed very well, but,
Yeah.
but at some point someone needs to take, you have to take action, and you have to find the people that can really, really help you. I think for me, that was the thing. I mean, I'd been thinking about taking action for a while, and then we chatted about it, and I kind of realized what you did. I didn't really know, because you're quite, low key about it in the gym and stuff, when I was out lifting you all the time. So that kind of was a trigger for me, So I think it's I don't know. So maybe even surrounding yourself with the right people is the thing, and that maybe could be a good way for someone to nudge you in the right direction or find the right person. I would imagine that's kind of what happened for me a little, I already knew this crap before, to a degree.
Right. So Lee Hurst, we're going to check back in with him in a few months as he goes off around the world. He's headed to Paris, to Mexico. Where else? Philly.
To the grave. To the grave. Hopefully it's a little longer away. Hopefully not between those two trips.
Not between the two. Right?
Just though Central America for the end of the year a little bit, just to kind of discover stuff, and that's it. Right. Show off the guns.
Show off the guns. Get a
also,
tan.
I've got the thong, so I want to wear that. I'm ready to go. But yeah, that's it. No idea about that.
Oh, Lee, you're one of a kind. One of a kind. Lee Hurst, we will check back with him in a couple of months. Make sure to check out the rest of Lee's story below the video.